Miracle.
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 Family.
Hey everyone, it's me, sarahxmiracle. With me is Ines and Mark. So today, Mark wants to discuss a particular topic.
Over the last month, I've actually been able to catch up with several ex-colleagues and school friends from the design industry and design school. And, a lot of these people I've known for more than 20 years, right? And they always ask me, oh, how is Ines? Because they remember Ines when she was small and cute. And I always say, well, Ines is very grown up now and she's actually studying design, right? And everybody's like,
Why?
I don't know. They're like, you allow her? Did you tell her? I'm like, tell her what? Of course I allow her. I mean, she wants to do it, right? So I felt like it was really interesting because it almost feels that people in a specific industry have a negative reaction, right, to a family member studying design. I will clarify that no industry is easy. I don't think design is a particularly hard industry, harder as compared to anything else. But it did make me think about the reasons of why I wanted to do what I do now. And I wanted to ask Ines, what made you decide that you wanted to go to this program and this school? Did you suddenly wake up in the morning going, I want to do this?
So I think as a kid and daddy was doing type design and other stuff, and I always thought it was really cool. And I saw him doing all this random stuff on the computer and I was like, I don't understand, but slay.
So Daddy was a major influence, okay?
I designed your birthday cards.
Yeah.
I designed
the invitations.
So it was literally all around me. Okay, but yeah. But I didn't really start taking a solid interest in it until in art class we had to design some magazine cover and I was like, you know what? This is quite fun. And I was like, And in Sec 2, you have to start thinking about what you want to do in the future, kind of, post-secondary school. Then I was like, I could go to JC, but I don't know what I would do in JC, and I don't know what I would do after JC. But, I can sort of do design, and it's something that maybe I could do in the future that, I could be potentially good at, all things considering. Yes. Anyway, they keep telling me that I have an aesthetic.
You dress so hipster.
Yeah, and then so in Sec 3, I decided to take art, which was low-key a bad decision because I thought I would be designing more stuff, basically graphic design. It was not there. It was
Fine art.
Yeah, and I was absolutely dying, but it's okay because from there I decided, okay, maybe I can use the fact that I'm in art and try to EAE to some interesting courses in poly, which I did not get. But it's okay because I did the joint admissions exercise and I managed to get into the school that I am now. So
Yay.
it all worked out in the end. That's the whole entire process.
So what do you think was one of the things that you admired about Daddy's work that made you feel it was something good you wanted to do?
I don't know, it just looked nice. Every time I see him doing stuff on his computer, it looked really nice. As a kid, I was like, oh, wow, look at the random letter he's touching.
Did you even show her the stuff on your computer?
No, I would just stand there and watch it while he's
really?
We would go
moving the thingy.
Sometimes we would go. We brought home print materials, right? We had print proofs from books, things that we design. Design ang pao. Ines would have seen an ang pao.
Yeah, the calendar that you made that's hanging in.
Oh, the blue calendar, yeah.
Yeah, it's
boobs.
Yeah. So basically, I was.
Yeah. So then she's interacted with stuff that I've made lah.
Has mommy influenced you in any way? Because it now sounds all about Daddy, which we all know you are his girl twin, which the internet has affirmed with millions of views.
You're the person who introduced me to art, not graphic design kind of thing, but art, drawing, painting stuff. Because you were really, you're still really good at it. You were oh yeah, Ines, you should paint the owl from the book. Yes, very good, very slay. And then I think you also told me that I should do art in Sec 3. as well. Because you're like, oh, Ines, you'll be so good at that. I was not, but it's okay.
Did
So,
mommy
like-
influence you on music?
Oh yeah, music, but I'm not doing music. And I'm
playing
not
guitar.
studying music.
I thought you were doing music elective.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, I will see mommy like doing what's it called on the computer? The Apple program that you
Logic.
Logic, production.
yes. Now I see her like moving the thing up, down, and she play one part, then I'll be like, and then she'll stop it and then she'll adjust and she'll play it again and I could hear no difference. But yeah, I thought it was I didn't think it was cool. I thought it was a bit stressful that you have to keep listening to the same thing over and over again. But it looked interesting and like you made me play violin and piano.
Hey, you were the one who said you want to learn violin, eh?
Well, after a few years, I stopped wanting to learn it, but you still made me do it. Now I'm still doing it, but I did stop piano. But yes, I know chords. I know how to play do, re, mi, fa, so, which is
Yeah, but if you
good.
didn't play violin, you wouldn't be having a good time with your electric guitar now.
Okay, and then in Sec 1, I realized, I have an affinity for guitar. And then so I started playing on and off. Yeah, and like now I'm doing a music module in my school and it's quite fun. I think
you're
I'm
playing
the
electric
only
guitar every
person,
week
like,
for church, isn't you?
yeah, I think
we'll make a musician
I'm
of
the
you
only
yet.
person who actually enjoys the elective module
Why?
in my class. I ask all my friends, oh yeah, how's your elective module? Bro, I hate it so much. And I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry.
Wait, so what did they make you do in the elective module now? What's the
It's a
Oh,
assignment?
my
program.
homework this week is to...
Program drums, right?
Oh no, that was last week where I had to program the drums for like music for a sushi restaurant. And then this week is to listen to like the instrumentation of a song and then like write it all down.
Okay.
But yeah, it's quite fun.
So do you think at some point you combine these two things?
No,
She'll design album covers.
I don't mind actually. It looks fun.
Spotify playlists.
My Spotify playlist images are from
Actually, technically,
Pinterest.
she would be a very good video editor because she got music sense and audio sense and visual sense.
Wow, but video editing is painful. Okay.
I agree.
So, Mommy, how did
What?
you decide to do what you are doing now?
I've done so many things that it doesn't feel like it counts.
Okay, next episode is your breakdown of all that you've done.
I mean, in the first place, you didn't even explain what you do.
So I'm a designer. So I went to regular school like everybody else. And then when I was 15, the classroom that we moved into had a really, really nice, like aesthetic backboard. Like there's a notice board at the back of the class. And someone before me had like done these really, really interesting lettering, sort of like notices, homework sort of stuff. And I copied it. I thought I was like, oh, this is really cool. I want to try and copy it. So I started like writing the same thing for all my books. So like mathematics or whatever, or science, I would kind of copy the lettering and I started making my own like variations of it. Then, I don't know, I felt,
So
okay.
you were designing type at like 15 years old already?
No, I was copying somebody else's stuff.
No,
right?
but then
I
you said-
low-key did that too, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you begin by imitation, right? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So, I don't know, I started doing that and I started doodling and next thing I knew I was, kind of really getting into this, right? And some of my friends were like, hey, why aren't you doing art? I'm like, because I can't really draw, but I can do all these doodles. And they were all abstract, right? And then when I was 15, my dad brought me on a business trip with him to the UK. And he let me plan the free time and the downtime that we had. So we basically went to museums and churches. And one of the museums that we went to was the Design Museum. And it was there that I kind of picked up a book about design and started to think, hey, maybe this is something that I could do. I was really interested in it, right? So I got exposed to like interior design magazines. I started imagining what my ideal room would be like. I drew floor plans. I imagined that my room had a photocopy machine for whatever stupid reason.
And then after that, when did you decide you wanted to go to poly and not JC?
Well, that was easy. I did badly. I did badly for prelims. I had a spectacular score. That was when I seriously started considering that maybe poly would be a better sort of route. So then when they had an open house at Temasek Poly, I managed to convince my dad to go with me, right? And he was really supportive. He's like, yeah, I think it's a good program you can consider. So I was like, score. Okay, dad's on my side.
Because your mom wanted you to go JC, right?
Yeah, my mom was like, I want you to go JC. I'm like, no.
It was okay. Your brother went to JC, so they had one of each.
It's fair. Even though when the results came back for O levels, I actually could get into JC. I decided to do the course in Poly as well. So that was really cool. And I had to decide which field of design. And so I chose visual communication, thinking it sounds like a good way to make money. Thank you, Jesus. I provided for my family.
I guess the moral of the story for, parents who might be listening up here and you don't have children as old as Ines is that actually a lot of the things that we do influence our children, right? Whether it's conscious or not, because I don't think we were consciously influencing Ines to go take design or art, right? I mean, it was just something very natural for me to for example, buy these art books for Ines to just explore. And then Mark was just doing his own thing and it just happened that Ines saw it. But I guess, if you're not in a profession that can be seen, let's say you're an office job or whatever, I mean, the things that we do to even encourage our kids to develop in their own special way, I mean, are really important because I still remember that Ines was the one who said she wanted to learn violin. And it was after she
You know why or not? Because one day our daddy go show me this YouTube video of some guy playing the violin. I was like, without realizing that it's actually really difficult and I was not prepared.
Well, she's been taking violin for
It's been
more than
10 years, bro.
Yeah, for 10 years now.
Yeah.
And she's persevered. She's going to be taking a grade 8 exam soon. So congratulations to persevering.
After grade 8, then take violin and smash, is it? No.
But the truth is, she
is
is very good at electric guitar because she's taken violin and it's very natural for her because she's had that foundation. So even though it's not something that she might use in the future for violin, she never knows actually. Because we do have other friends who are violinists and electric guitarists and they play the violin also when necessary, when needed. They can just take it out, play something, right? John Ong. Yeah.
Or you can play your guitar with a violin bow.
No.
Exactly.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, you can.
On Uncle Gerald's nice $2,000 guitar? No.
Yeah. Hello, your violin's more expensive than a guitar.
There is
Your violin is
a
$3,000.
band called Sigur Rós where the guitarist played with a violin bow.
Okay, you need to expose her to that. I think as parents, we have the choice of what we want to expose our children to. Because you see, like Ines, she said that, it first started with daddy showing her a violin video. So I guess the more things we do try to let our children be exposed to from an aesthetic point of view or even sports. Leon's not here, but now he's in a very exploratory stage. We are not tennis people, but he somehow was exposed to it at a sports camp. And so because of that, he was one who said, I want to play tennis, right? And now, thank God, a tennis coach is living in our condo and this guy is so awesome. He coaches his own son.
Makes me want to learn tennis.
Yeah, and his son is one of the top seeded at the C division. And we're just so fortunate and blessed that a coach just exists in our condo.
Well, there is a saying, when the
student is ready, the master appears.
The master will appear.
Yeah. So even though Leon doesn't do fine art, he has this ninja drawings that he likes to do. So drawing is still, I guess, a very part of family thing. Sometimes I try to still do art in the house sometimes when I have nothing to do, which is rare. As parents, we can just do our best to expose our children to whatever they seem to appear interested in. But there's no shame in dropping things. Ines dropped out of piano, Leon dropped out of soccer. So
Ines dropped out of
ballet.
She finally dropped out of ballet at some point. And
took so long for me to convince him to let me drop ballet,
Yeah.
Okay.
But in any case, then now she's dancing for church musical production.
Different, okay. This is easy dancing.
Yeah,
okay, ballet, right?
Easy dancing because you got ballet foundation.
You have to do 10 different things at one time, and it's oh.
We're grateful that Ines has turned out the way she is. She's very talented. She's very gifted. And she's working on some of her gifts, even though they're not yet fully there, but she's honing them. She's working on them. Thank you, everyone, for being with us on this episode. And on the next episode, we will be talking a little bit more about
Sarah's
discovering... No, I mean,
yes.
I think it's more now we have our gifts in place. Now we kind of have professions in place. How do we move beyond that to what is purpose and calling, beyond just the doing? I think that'd be great for discussion. If you like this, we hope you'll share, subscribe, give it a good rating, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Miracle Family Podcast. We'd love it if you would share, subscribe, and rate this podcast so that more people can join our Miracle Family. See you in the next episode.